Okay, grade ones, we're gonna make a painted bird kind of like this. I was taking a painting class before all of this, and I started painting a lot of birds, so I thought I'd teach you how. This one's hanging up on my fridge. I thought you'd think it's cool. Look, I have our little foxes that we did too. Um, and here's another one I painted as well. So I'm going to teach you how to paint a bird. If you don't have paint, you can do the drawing and then just use your markers or crayons. So I drew it first in pencil just so you could kind of see. And I'm going to go over in Sharpie just because that is better on the video. But if you are at home, what I would do is draw it in pencil. If you want to go over it in Sharpie, you can. But when I do my birds like that, I just do it in pencil and then I paint it and you can't see the pencil parts. If you do it in Sharpie, all of this will have like Sharpie around it. So you do not have to do Sharpie. I'm just doing it so it shows up a bit better in the video. So I'm going to start with the head, which is going to be just like a big rainbow here. Okay, so we have our head that's kind of half a circle, and then we want a nice puffy belly. So you're going to come down in a belly, and you're going to stop about halfway. Okay, see how it's like half circle again? Then we're going to go up and do the wing. So if you come to the head here, just do like a little rainbow for the shoulder. Okay, and then you come down the one side to have the wing. Then I wanted the wings to have multiple feathers, so I just did more little loops, 1, 2, and then my loop connected up like that. Okay. For the eye, I'm gonna mostly paint it, but I just drew a little circle here so I know where I want the eye to be, but I am gonna paint it. And same the beak, I will paint it as well, but we'll put the beak out like that. Then our bird is going to be sitting on a branch, so it's just kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. So I just brought a line down to the bird, and then you stop when you get to the bird. And then you go on to the other side of the bird and just bring it out. And then it can just kind of stop in the middle of nowhere. Since this is a branch though, this just looks like a little stick, you have to make it thicker. So underneath it, you're going to do another line, stop when you get to the bird, and then come down and stop when the other line stops right there. Now, just like in this picture, I wanted little extra branches with leaves. So up top, we're gonna make one branch that kind of goes up. If you do some curves, it's gonna look a little bit more realistic. So I'm gonna make this one kind of curvish, like that. And then I want little like twigs coming out. So they're gonna be thinner pieces. See how they're not straight lines though, grade ones? I'm just kind of making almost like letter S's, but not completely squiggly like an S. Just like squiggly lines. So that's my one branch. And then I wanted one underneath as well. So we start with that thicker one, come down, and then another one. And then your littler branches kind of curving out. This one is going to look a little bit like a Y. And I see the last thing I forgot were the little toes. So like the little claws, you're just going to go like 1, 2, 3, just little lines like that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now our drawing is done. Now it's time to paint. Or like I said, if you don't have paint, you can use pencil crayons or things like that. So I'm going to use watercolor. So what you need is water, paintbrush, and your watercolor paints. Now to make it like a really colorful bird, you're gonna use lots of colors. So you'll notice my paints here look not very tidy because I like to mix colors. Now when I mean mixed colors, I mean I'm mixing shades. So I have blue, like a light blue with a dark blue, and I might mix my other blue. And then when I go to paint it, I'm not going to paint the whole thing, okay? Because mine is a hummingbird. You can make whatever kind of bird you want, but I wanted to do a hummingbird because it has lots of colors. So if you kind of just use your watercolor to make a bit of a splotch here, then I'm gonna get some purple next. And it's okay to have some white spaces, grade ones. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've said that in my whole life in art, but you can have white spaces if you're painting. I want to mix some purple in here. So what I'm gonna do is get my brush wet, get some purple, and then I come back to the paper and I'm gonna kind of mix the purple down into the blue. So you can kind of see there's some bluey purple spots. Okay, and I'm not going back and forth because back and forth with painting, it's not going to look as, I don't really know. It's just, you're not supposed to draw with a paintbrush, you're supposed to paint. So painting, you're just kind of moving your paintbrush along in just kind of smooth little shapes here, okay? As I get further up in the head, gets to be a little bit of red. So again, I'm gonna get some water, then I'm gonna do some reds. More water on watercolors means it'll be lighter. Less water means it'll be darker or more pigmented. So I wanted to mix in with the purple a little bit there. And I'm just keep painting my bird. Mix over top. Okay. And then I want the top of his head to be a little greenish. So then I go into my green colors here. Okay, and then I am, sorry, doing very bad filming, but I was watching my paper. So then that's my bird body. I'll go into the wings. I wanted to have a little bit of orange. It's just so fun, grade ones, because you can just kind of make up the colors as you go. And then I'll make his beak a little orange. Okay. For the branch, what I'm gonna do is just paint all brown for the thick parts of the branch. Okay. So I'm gonna try to go quickly so you don't have to sit here forever while I do it, but the thick parts get to be brown. And then the really thin parts, I'm just going to leave. If you didn't do Sharpie, I guess I might just go over it really thinly, but since I have Sharpie, I really don't need to go over those really thin parts. But if you want to just have thin branches stick out, then do that. Okay, and then I just have to do this part. I'm just going quick here. The leaves are my favorite part because, first of all, they're fun, and I think they just add a lot of really nice color. Okay, so here is what we did. We didn't even draw leaves, right? So what you get to do is you get to pick whatever color. I picked a bunch of like rainbow colors for this one because I wanted it to be like springtime and blossoms. So I would just pick my favorite paint colors, and then you just kind of, honestly, you just blob it. You just like do blob, blob. They don't even need to be touching the branch. You just blob around. Okay, so I'm doing blue first, so I just do all my blue blobs. Okay, so I just have blue blobs. Then I wash my brush and I pick my next color. And then I have like this pinky red. I do all my pink red blobs. Just blob, 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 blob. And you're just blobbing around. And you keep doing that. You pick a new color and then you just keep adding until your branches are as full of leaves and blossoms as you want them to be. Okay, so then you just keep going, keep going, keep going until you're done. The last thing that I love to do with my paintings is sign my initials. You can see I have my initials here. I did all three of my initials, my first name, my middle name, and my last name. So if you take a Sharpie or your pencil and just do a little signing, I just like to do my initials. And voila, we have a beautiful bird. I hope you enjoyed art. Birds are my favorite animal, as you know, so I would love to see your art if you do it at home. I hope you had fun, and I'll talk to you soon.